Hi. um, I'm cold. Welcome to my second upload. Um, so wasn't totally sure what to talk about in this one, but I figured I would talk about my most like memorable times where it wasn't me doing anything. Okay, I've done a lot of weird stuff, a lot of legal stuff that I have been caught for. So, no need to call 911. Or, like, not caught for, but, like, people know. I don't know. um, so, I've mentioned this in the first one. I was in Aurora and Aurora long term, right? So, these stories are based in the long term facility and all based around one girl. Okay. I totally do not remember her name, but I'm gonna call her. We're gonna call her. I don't know. I don't know. She's just crazy. God, who's a crazy person? Um, I don't know. We're just gonna call her like Rebecca. I feel like a lot of Rebeccas are a little bit crazy. Okay, so I was in Oasis long term for like 2.5 months ish. I don't know, maybe more, maybe less. But so this Rebecca really, really, really wanted to leave. And the way that she thought that she would be able to be picked up and taken out of the facility, which, side note, keep in mind, this girl was freaking crazy. Okay? Like, I have seen some whack people, but she would do anything. So, little Miss Rebecca decided, I want to go home. And instead of just completing treatment, which if you comply and stuff, you can get out of long term within a month. Okay. But I guess she had been there for a couple. We got there around the same time. And so she was already, like, when she first got there, she was pretty quiet, she was pretty chill. But with like the next, I don't know, like 5-ish days, she started, joining in with like the bad people, I guess, or the people that were more crazy. And like, if you said something wrong, they'd like bully the freaking fudge out of you, right? Well, she decided, I want to be big and bad, right? So she started, acting out, like, I don't want to say giving into peer pressure, because maybe she was doing that, or maybe she was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna say peer pressure, because before she knew anyone, she was super chill, super quiet. So they would tell her to, like, I don't know, go be rude to a staff or go pick a random fight, and she would do it. And so this little Miss Rebecca wanted to leave. Okay. And she thought, well, my parents are definitely gonna take me out if I get into a fight. Everybody in the unit was pretty chill with her. She was the middle ground of these crazy mother fluffers and us chill people. She was the middle ground. Everybody could get along with her. Um, and so she had one of her closer friends hit her so hard in the face. It was hilarious. I couldn't. Oh my god, it was great. So we were sitting by this like glass window type thing, and she turns to her friend as serious as ever and goes, I need you to hit me in the face. So of course the friend like lightly hit her, right? Because she didn't know what was going on. She didn't want to hurt her. Her friend was like a fighter kind of, so she was a heavy hitter. Like it was crazy. And so she was like, "No, I need you to really hit me." But the friend, again, love tapped this chick. And so she ended up explaining, "I want to go home. I'm not meant to be here." All of us knew she was meant to be there. um, so, a nice little swing later, and like all like through here is like black and blue and super disgusting. It was bad. And her parents clearly sent her there for a reason. She did not go voluntarily. Um, and so she comes back storming in after a CFT, which I forgot what a CFT stands for, but it's basically where your family and your team have a call, like a group call, talking about your progress, if you need any medication changes, anything, basically based on how you were doing. And so I'm gonna take a quick guess and say that she mentioned that she had gotten into a fight. And she comes back storming into the unit, all upset, like crying, but she's clearly, visibly very, very mad. And so we're all like, "Oh no, what happened?" Like most of us didn't think this was gonna work, honestly. And her parents only, I guess, from what I've been told, only knew her as the good, straight B's and A's student that never had any issues. Goody two shoes, everybody loves her. And so she comes back and she was like, "They said that I was faking it." And all of us were like, "Well." And she was like, "Well, they figured that I would never get into fights and stuff, and that I didn't do anything wrong." So I don't remember if she said that they thought that she like hit her head on something on purpose or something, but it had nothing to do with the fact that she could have gotten in a fight. It was something crazy. Um, so she was very, very upset, and Rebecca wanted to get out. I'm not sure why she wanted to leave so bad. I mean, yes, the facility was crazy. There, everything was crazy. Okay, the cafeteria was very, very, very small. And they didn't have like any food. If you were like vegetarian or vegan, you only got quesadillas with vegan cheese and stuff. That's all you could eat, or peanut butter and jelly. That's all you could ever eat, and like fruit. But that place was a dump. Okay, it was crazy. So little Miss Rebecca decides, "I have an escape plan," and we were all like, "We want to see this." And so she decides, "I'm gonna climb through the roof." Like most facilities, the roof had like the tiles that you can push up, and they're kind of like drywall, so they can break very, very easily. So, Rebecca, Rebecca, um, the staff didn't pay much attention. They clearly did not care about their job. But we decided to start stacking chairs on top of each other for her. These chairs are maybe weighed like 100 pounds. Very, very heavy chairs. So we would, help each other pick them up and stack them on top of a table. This took forever, but luckily we had a couple tall, stronger girls. And so she's slowly climbing up these freaking chairs, like Godzilla climbing whatever tower he climbed. And was it and the Eiffel Tower? I don't know. No. It's been forever since I've seen that movie. But the staff looks up and they're like, oh my god. There was always something rude going on, okay? And so, they come rushing in. Since this girl decided to have a friend hit her in the face, she had to wear paper scrubs. Paper scrubs are almost what they sound like they are. They look like scrubs, but they're like this blue material that's very, very, very easy to rip. And it's a little bit see-through. I'm just saying, it's not comfortable to wear at all. But so they come in, they're like, great, how do we deal with this? Because we can't just pull her down. Because she was, well, I think the only part of her body sticking out of the ceiling that we could see was a little bit of her butt and her legs, okay? And the staff did not know how to deal with this situation. And the staff that was mostly there in our unit were male staff, okay? That's just kind of what happens. If there's girls on a unit that are more crazy than they are stable, they put more male staff on the unit because it's easier for males, scientifically proven, because they're stronger to hold somebody and all that to where they can't move. So of course they had to switch out pretty much all the staff, and they had to bring in all the female staff, the lead of the building at the time, it was crazy. There was a bunch of staff in there, male and female at the time, and they're all in the hallway and just crowded because there was at least, I want to say, 4 units in the entire building. There was orange, yellow, red, and blue, I believe. Red and blue were male units, and orange and yellow were for females, and I was on the yellow unit. I was in orange for like a week. But so they had to switch out all the staff and all that. It was crowded, crazy crowded, and they didn't know what to do with us girls at the time. I guess they weren't thinking straight. They could have just told us to lock down, go in our rooms, but I guess they didn't know how to do that. So we're all sitting there watching as these girl staff try to figure out how to pull her out of the ceiling. And I don't know why they didn't tell us to go to our rooms. Maybe they thought that we wouldn't comply or whatever. I don't know. But we're all just kind of sitting there laughing our little tushies off. How am I gonna get this chick down? And so she's struggling, trying to keep climbing her way up there. And the staff is clearly trying to pull her down by her feet, but they don't want to injure her either because, everybody loves getting sued. And so they're like, great, we gotta booty juice this chick. If you don't know what booty juice is, I can only compare it to a horse tranquilizer. It is a shot that they tend to put either in your tushy or in your thighs, anywhere with mass amounts of fat. And so it's like this little bit of a long needle filled with this. I've never had to get it. I've always been super chill. But they had to shoot her up with it, I want to say 3 or 4 times. This girl was not going down, okay? So she finally, was starting to tucker herself out, and they got her down. It was very crazy because there's a table, giant chairs stacked up, and this girl, okay? They didn't want her to fall because if she would have fallen, she could have hit the table, hit the chairs, fallen on staff, fallen on girls, So they were very, very cautious to not have her fall, not have her totally get stuck, and to not pull her pants down. Okay. Needless to say, pants ended up coming off but she did get down safely, which is very, very good. And then they told us to all go into lockdown. I forgot what it was actually called, but it wasn't called lockdown. But we're all chilling in our rooms. I want to think there were 10 rooms, 5 on each side, and each room would hold 2 girls. But there was not 40 girls on that unit. Yeah, there was some rooms that had only a single person for the um not inmates, the admitted girls, patients, I don't know, that had to be alone. So I think they had like 4 rooms with a single bed. Um, so that would make that's 20, 22, 26. Yeah, I think it was about 26 girls. There often wasn't 26 girls in the unit, but there were about 15 at the minimum. So, we're all chilling in our rooms, hanging out, and just like, oh, what now? And Miss Rebecca is in the beginning of the hallway, but in the middle of it, and she's fighting, she's kicking and screaming with staff, and she is not going down. I'm pretty sure it is illegal to give a girl that weighs less than 180 pounds 4 or 5 shots of a tranquilizer. I'm sure that is illegal and deadly. Okay, but I guess they had to do what they had to do. And she ended up just passing out in the middle of the floor. Nobody wanted to pick her up and take her to bed in case she decided to like wake up or something. Normally when you get shot with baby juice, you're basically like can't really move, and then later on after the can't really move part, you pass out. You get super tired. But they're afraid of her like waking up because this chick is freaking crazy, and so they just let her sleep in the middle of the floor. So I guess that's my story of Rebecca. Wow, crazy. um, I don't know. I guess sooner or later I will show you guys my box. It is quite a big tote full of letters or pictures that I have gotten in facilities or notebooks that I have written in facilities. Anything, But yes, that is my story of Rebecca. If I can think of any more stories, but I think those are the only 2 dramatic ones, then yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a good day and all that. And stay happy, as happy as you can be, stay safe and stay freaking protected because COVID, oh my god, it's crazy. So just stay safe, healthy, protected, all of that. I hope you guys have a good day, a good night, whenever you're seeing this. Sorry for the spooky poster of Joker up in there. Anyways, bye y'all.